Welcome to Monster Machines, where we dive into the world of colossal machinery and their most spectacular failures. Today, we're pitting heavy machine mishaps against each other in an epic showdown. Which fail will you think is worst? Let's start with a look at some of the most impressive excavators ever built. The Caterpillar 6090 FS hydraulic shovel is a behemoth that stands 15.5 meters tall and weighs a staggering 1,000 tons. This monster can scoop up 52 cubic meters of material in a single bite, equivalent to the volume of a small house. With a price tag of around $5 million, it's not just big in size, but also in cost. Another giant is the Bucyrus RH400, once the largest hydraulic excavator in the world. Weighing in at 980 tons, it could lift 85 tons of material in a single scoop. Sadly, production of this mechanical marvel ceased in 2011 when Bucyrus was acquired by Caterpillar. One of the most hazardous environments for excavators is underground. In 2010, a Caterpillar 345CL excavator was involved in an incident during the construction of the Caldecott Tunnel's fourth bore in California. The machine caught fire 1,000 feet into the tunnel, causing an evacuation of all workers. Thankfully, no one was injured, but the incident highlighted the dangers of working in confined spaces with limited escape routes. To combat these risks, specialized equipment like the Brock 800, a remote-controlled demolition robot, is often used. This 11-ton machine can be operated from a safe distance, reducing the risk to human operators in unstable underground environments. Moving from the depths to the heights now with high-altitude excavation. High-altitude work presents several risks, including reduced engine performance due to thin air, increased risk of rollovers on steep slopes, extreme weather conditions, and difficulty in transporting fuel and parts. These challenges require specialized training and equipment modifications to ensure safe operations. If you're enjoying this so far, please give us a like and subscribe for tons more content you'll love. Now let's look at something really cool. The Water King amphibious excavator. One of the most fascinating and dangerous applications of excavators is underwater work, and this Dutch-built marvel can operate in water up to 6.5 meters deep. These machines have been used in various challenging environments, from clearing canals in Venice to dredging ports in the Netherlands. In 2019, a Water King WK250NG5 was used in a complex operation to remove unexploded World War II ordnance from the Rhine River in Germany. The operation required extreme precision and care, as any mistake could have led to a catastrophic explosion. Underwater excavation risks include poor visibility, unpredictable currents, potential encounters with marine life, and the risk of equipment flooding. Extreme weather conditions also pose significant challenges for excavators. In 2007, Caterpillar excavators were used in the construction of the Diavik diamond mine in Canada's Northwest Territories. These machines had to operate in temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius. Special modifications were required, including engine block heaters, Arctic-grade lubricants, and enclosed heated cabs for operators. The extreme cold posed risks such as brittle metal components, frozen hydraulic lines, reduced battery performance, and ice formation on tracks and moving parts. These conditions not only threaten the machinery, but also put operators at risk of hypothermia and frostbite if proper precautions aren't taken. Still watching? Then don't forget to become a subscriber. Now let's get back to it. Excavators often play a crucial role in disaster response. Following the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in Japan, Hitachi EX8006 excavators were used in the cleanup efforts. These massive machines, each weighing 811 tons, were instrumental in clearing debris and aiding in the reconstruction process. During the 2018 Brumadinho Dam disaster in Brazil, excavators were also used in the search and rescue operations. Operators had to navigate treacherous mudflows while searching for survivors and victims. The unstable ground and risk of further collapses made this one of the most dangerous excavation operations in recent history. Although urban excavation presents its own set of challenges. In 2012, during the construction of the 2nd Avenue subway in New York City, excavators had to work in extremely tight spaces, often just inches away from existing buildings and infrastructure. The risk of damaging underground utilities or destabilizing nearby structures was constant. To address these challenges, specialized equipment like the Minzy Muck M545, a walking excavator, has been developed. This unique machine can work on slopes up to 100% grade and even climb stairs, making it ideal for urban and mountainous terrain. One of the most dangerous jobs for excavator operators is working with hazardous materials. In 2017, excavators were used in the cleanup of the Hanford Nuclear Reservation in Washington State, USA. This site, once used for plutonium production, is considered one of the most contaminated nuclear sites in the United States. Operators had to work in specially designed, pressurized cabs to protect them from radiation and other hazardous materials. The excavators themselves required regular decontamination to prevent the spread of radioactive particles. Now let's dive into even more accidents and errors that can occur with excavators. One common hazard is the risk of excavators overturning. If loads exceed the machine lift's rating, or lift plans are not checked and revised, excavators can overturn, which can damage the areas of the site, the load, the machine, and most importantly, the operators themselves. The importance of thorough planning and communication in excavator operations cannot be overstated. Another significant risk is struck-by incidents, which are a leading cause of death among construction workers. Excavators are particularly dangerous due to their quick movements in small spaces and the extremely heavy loads they carry. An excavator bucket can weigh 900 pounds when empty, and significantly more when holding soil or rock, making a failure very dangerous. Since 2019, 3 deaths have been reported as a result of workers being crushed by buckets that fell from quick couplers. Quick couplers are devices that allow for rapid changing of attachments on excavators, but they can fail if not properly engaged or maintained. In one tragic case, a 67-year-old pipe fitter was killed while working in a trench below the bucket of an excavator using a quick coupler device. The quick coupler suffered a mechanical failure and the bucket detached while digging, landing on the experienced pipe fitter and killing him. There was no one on site designated as an OSHA-competent trench supervisor to prevent the worker from standing beneath the bucket. In another incident, a 21-year-old heavy equipment trainee was killed when he attached a bucket using a quick coupler and stood below the bucket to inspect it. There were no records of the young worker receiving excavator safety training, and he elevated the boom to inspect the bucket from below. The bucket detached while the worker was underneath, resulting in fatal injuries. These cases underscore the critical importance of proper training, supervision, and adherence to safety protocols. Workers should always assume that a quick coupler has the potential to fail and should never be below a bucket, attachment, or other load. OSHA prohibits working beneath a load or within the swing radius of an excavator, and manufacturer and industry guidelines strongly recommend against this all-too-common practice. Other common hazards in excavation work include falling loads, cave-ins, exposure or damage to underground utilities, and toxic air. As an excavator clears debris, there's always a potential for the load to shift or fall. Even with the most skilled operator, accidental falls can happen. It's crucial to mark the work area clearly and ensure that crew members stay clear of the machine and moving debris. Cave-ins are another serious risk. Digging underground can dislodge the soil overhead, and even with plans to support the edges of a trench, a collapse can injure or kill workers. Proper excavation safety protocols, including shoring up trench edges and using sloping walls, are essential to mitigate this risk. Buried utilities pose a significant hazard during excavation. While site administrators may rely on city documentation to identify the location of underground utilities, this information isn't always accurate. Traditional digging equipment can puncture or break a line before it's detected, leading to potentially dangerous situations. The use of vacuum excavator trucks, which are safer for digging around buried lines and pipes, can help mitigate this risk. Next up, it's a more modern classic, the International Harvester 1468. Produced in the US from 1971 to 1976, it was designed for heavy plowing and field work and featured a powerful 161 horsepower V8 diesel engine and measured 164 inches in length, 106 inches in width, and 115 inches in height. It cost around $13,000 in 1971, about $85,000 today. While the V8 engine was impressive for its time, it caused more problems than it solved. The engine was prone to overheating and frequent failures due to the immense power output. These issues led to frequent breakdowns in the field, frustrating farmers who needed reliable equipment. Due to its unreliability, only about 2,500 units were produced, and the model was quickly abandoned in favor of more dependable tractors. Now, let's move on to the Claas Dominator 108 SL. This German machine was a high-capacity combine harvester produced from 1985 to 1992. It featured a 225-horsepower engine and measured 295 inches in length, 150 inches in width, and 145 inches in height. It was a significant investment, costing around $100,000 in the 1980s, roughly $300,000 in today's money. Despite being advanced, it had a poorly designed threshing mechanism that often caused grain losses and blockages. Farmers found themselves spending more time fixing the machine than harvesting, leading to significant financial losses. Up next is another short-lived classic, the John Deere 430 Crawler tractor, made in the US from 1958 to 1960. Costing around $3,000 in 1959, equivalent to about $27,000 today, it was part of John Deere's 30 series. This tractor was 114 inches long, 66 inches wide, and 58 inches high, with a 28 horsepower engine. Its transmission system, however, was a major weak point. Early production models had a critical design flaw that caused frequent breakdowns and costly repairs. These issues led to numerous customer complaints and forced John Deere to redesign the transmission, costing the company millions, which led to its eventual phase-out. The Massey Ferguson 1155 is next on our list. Manufactured in the United States from 1972 to 1977, it was designed for heavy-duty field work. It featured a Perkins V8 diesel engine that delivered 146 horsepower and measured 185 inches in length, 108 inches in width, and 124 inches in height. It was priced at $14,000 at the time, or $75,000 today. Despite its powerful engine, the 1155 was notorious for its reliability issues. The excessive power output often led to transmission failures and overheating, causing frequent breakdowns. Next, let's talk about a machine that was developed in the US during the 1990s, the Case IH Quadrac prototype. This experimental tractor featured a unique 4-track system designed to provide high traction and reduce soil compaction, making it ideal for soft soils. The prototype measured 295 inches in length, 148 inches in width, and 144 inches in height, and it was powered by a 400 horsepower engine. However, the initial prototypes had severe issues with track slippage and uneven weight distribution. These problems caused the tractor to get stuck in muddy conditions and perform poorly on uneven terrain. It took several years of testing and redesigns to address these issues, and the Quadrac eventually became a reliable machine. Now, let's take a look at the Alice Chalmers Model U, another US-produced machine from 1929 to 1953. It was a general-purpose farming tractor. It measured 118 inches in length, 65 inches in width, and 66 inches in height, with a 22-horsepower 6-cylinder engine. Priced at about $1,500 in the 1930s, $25,000 today, the Model U was a popular choice among farmers for its versatility and affordability. Despite its initial success, the Model U had significant issues with its cooling system, causing frequent engine overheating and breakdowns. These problems left many farmers frustrated and unable to complete their work. Next up, it's the versatile 1080, one of the first articulated tractors manufactured in Canada from 1974 to 1976. It was intended for heavy field work and featured an articulated 4-wheel drive system. The 1080 measured 250 inches in length, 110 inches in width, and 135 inches in height, with a 250 horsepower engine. Its price was $50,000 in 1974, which is about $270,000 today. Despite its powerful engine and high ground clearance, the versatile 1080 was plagued by mechanical issues, particularly with its steering system and engine reliability. The steering often failed, leading to numerous accidents and operational difficulties. The engine was also prone to frequent breakdowns, requiring costly repairs. Let's now discuss the Oliver 70 row crop. Manufactured in the United States from 1935 to 1948, it was designed for planting and cultivating crops in rows. It measured 124 inches in length, 70 inches in width, and 65 inches in height, with a 35 horsepower engine. Priced at around $1,200 in 1935, $23,000 today, it was known for its streamlined design and distinctive green and red color scheme. However, the Oliver 70 had a problematic steering system prone to failure, making it difficult to control in tight spaces. This led to numerous accidents and crop damage, causing frustration among farmers. Moving on now to the Gleaner A combine. Made in the US from 1951 to 1959, it was one of the first self-propelled combines, designed to revolutionize the harvesting process. It measured 250 inches in length, 120 inches in width, and 140 inches in height, with a 75 horsepower engine. In the 1950s, its price tag was $6,500, equivalent to $60,000 today. Despite its innovative self-propelled design, the Gleaner A had several flaws. Its grain tank and unloading system were poorly designed, causing frequent grain spillages and blockages. Next is the Deutz-Fahr DX series. Produced in Germany from 1980 to 1989, this was a range of tractors known for their innovative air-cooled engines and fully enclosed cab. They measured 170 inches in length, 85 inches in width, and 100 inches in height, with a maximum power output of 125 horsepower. The tractors were priced at about $50,000 in the 1980s, that's $150,000 today. Despite their advanced features, the DX series tractors were prone to overheating, particularly in hot climates. The air-cooled engines, while innovative, struggled to keep the tractors running smoothly in warmer temperatures, leading to frequent breakdowns. In addition to overheating issues, the DX series also suffered from electrical system and hydraulic failures. Next, it's the New Holland TR Series combines, made from 1980 to 1990 in the US. They introduced the twin rotor system, which was designed to improve the efficiency of threshing and separating grain. They were 320 inches long, 150 inches wide, and 145 inches high, and powered by a 210 horsepower engine. The cost of a TR Series combine was about $100,000 in the 1980s, which would be a hefty $300,000 today. However, the early models of the TR Series had a rotor system that was poorly balanced, leading to uneven threshing and frequent breakdowns. The inadequate threshing capacity often resulted in grain losses, frustrating farmers who expected better performance from such an expensive machine. Moving on, let's take a look at the Zetor Crystal series. A Czechoslovakian creation from 1975 to 1985, this was known for its robust construction and heavy-duty capabilities. These tractors were designed to handle tough plowing and tillage tasks and measured 190 inches in length, 96 inches in width, and 110 inches in height, with a maximum power output of 100 horsepower. The Crystal Series tractors were priced around $30,000 in the 1970s, $160,000 by today's standards. Despite their durability and strong build, the Zetor Crystal Series tractors had significant issues with gearbox and clutch reliability. These components were prone to frequent failures, making the tractors difficult to maintain, especially in regions where replacement parts were hard to come by. The mechanical problems associated with the gearbox and clutch eventually limited the success of the Crystal Series. The Farmall 560, produced by International Harvester in the United States from 1958 to 1963, was a versatile tractor designed for general farming and row crop tasks. It measured 140 inches in length, 72 inches in width, and 80 inches in height, with a 63 horsepower engine. The tractor was priced around $3,200 in 1958, which would be $30,000 nowadays. Bargain. Or maybe not. Although the Farmall 560 had great potential, it was hindered by a critical design flaw in its rear axle. Under heavy loads, the rear axle was prone to failure, leading to numerous accidents and significant damage to the equipment. Finally, let's talk about the Steger Tiger series. This was one of the largest and most powerful tractors available at the time. From 1973 to 1980, they were produced in the US. Designed for heavy tillage and large-scale farming, these machines measured 310 inches in length, 140 inches in width, and 144 inches in height, with a massive 500 horsepower engine. The cost of a Steger Tiger tractor was around $100,000 in the 1970s, which would be a sizable $540,000 today. Despite its impressive size and power, the Steger Tiger series was notorious for its hydraulic system issues. The hydraulics were prone to leaks and failures, leading to frequent downtime and costly repairs. These reliability problems made the Steger Tiger a risky investment for farmers who needed consistent performance.
In the red corner, we have the sinkhole surprise of 2017. In Nanning, China, August 2017, a Caterpillar 320D excavator worth a cool $150,000 was just doing its job at a road construction site. Suddenly, the ground gave way, revealing a massive sinkhole. The operator's quick reflexes saved him from a 20-foot plummet, but the excavator wasn't so lucky. Now, in the blue corner, we have the bridge blunder of 2019. Queensland, Australia, May 2019. A brand spanking new Caterpillar 395 excavator, fresh off the lot, is attempting to cross a temporary bridge during repairs. But the bridge had other plans. It collapsed, sending the $2 million beast crashing into the river below. Let's break down these mechanical marvels. The Caterpillar 320D is a medium-sized excavator, perfect for road construction. It's 31.5 feet long, 9.8 feet high, and can dig up to 21.6 feet deep. With its 148 horsepower engine, it's a reliable workhorse for many construction sites. The 320D's advanced hydraulic system allows for precise control, making it a favorite among operators for delicate work in tight spaces, usually much tighter than a massive sinkhole. The Caterpillar 395, on the other hand, is a true monster. Weighing in at a whopping 94 tons, this behemoth boasts 542 horsepower and can exert a digging force of 72,152 pounds. It's designed for the toughest mining and construction jobs, with twice the structural durability of its predecessors. The Cat 395 also features an advanced electro-hydraulic system that can reduce fuel consumption by up to 25% compared to older models, making it both powerful and eco-friendly. So which fail takes the cake? The sinkhole incident caused $150,000 in damages, while the bridge collapse racked up over $300,000. But let's not forget the embarrassment factor. The 395 was on its first job. We'll let you decide the winner of this round. Let us know in the comments which one you picked. And if you're enjoying these colossal calamities, hit that kick button and subscribe for tons more. Next up, we're comparing two fiery failures in the world of resource extraction. First, let's head to the Pilbara region of Western Australia, November 2020. A Caterpillar 793F haul truck, loaded with 200 tons of iron ore, lost control on a steep descent. The brakes failed, and the truck became an unstoppable $3.8 million missile, crashing into another parked haul truck. The Caterpillar 793F is so massive that its tires alone cost around $42,500 each and stand taller than an average person. Now that's a truck you don't want running off course. Now, let's shift gears to the cornfields of Nebraska, USA, October 2018. A John Deere S680 combine harvester was peacefully harvesting corn when disaster struck. A mechanical failure in the header ignited the dry stalks, turning the $380,000 machine into a blazing inferno. Now, let's compare these mechanical monstrosities. The Caterpillar 793F is a true titan of the mining world. At 47.5 feet long and 21.3 feet high, this beast can carry up to 250 tons of material. Its 2,650 horsepower engine allows it to reach speeds of 37 miles per hour when empty. Not bad for something that weighs as much as a fully loaded Boeing 747. And here's a crazy fact, the 793F's fuel tank can hold up to 1,200 gallons of diesel, enough to drive a regular car around the Earth twice. The John Deere S680, on the other hand, while smaller, is no less impressive. This $380,000 harvesting powerhouse boasts a 473 horsepower engine and can clear a 44.6 foot wide path through crops. It can unload grain at a mind-boggling rate of 5.9 bushels per second. The S680's onboard computer can even automatically adjust the harvester settings based on crop conditions, maximizing efficiency and minimizing grain loss. In terms of damage, the haul truck crash takes the lead with $5 million in damages and several days of halted operations. The combine harvester fire, while spectacular, only caused about $400,000 in damage. But it's not only the cost that determines which is worse. So what do you think? Our next face-off features two crane calamities that'll make you think twice about looking up. In September 2015, Mecca, Saudi Arabia became the site of a tragic tower crane collapse. A Liebherr 550 ECH, standing tall at 295 feet, succumbed to a powerful sandstorm during construction at the Grand Mosque. The result? A devastating crash that claimed 107 lives and caused over $15 million in damages. The sheer size of the Liebherr 550 ECH is what caused such devastation. Its lifting capacity is up to 40 tons at its maximum radius, which is equivalent to the weight of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That load falling would cause severe damage alone, but with the crane collapsing on top of that, the impact was catastrophic. On to March 2016 now in Fort Benning, Georgia. A Terex 60-ton military crane was performing a routine lift of an M1 Abrams tank during a training exercise. Suddenly, the $800,000 crane lost its balance on uneven ground, toppling over and dropping the tank like a hot potato. So let's examine these sky-high behemoths. The Liebherr 550 ECH is a marvel of engineering. With a maximum height of 295 feet and a jib length of 262 feet, this $2 million beast is equipped with advanced safety systems and can rotate a full 360 degrees. Its modular design also allows it to be assembled in various configurations, adapting to different job site requirements. The Terex 60-ton military crane, while smaller, is no less impressive. Built to withstand extreme environments, this $800,000 machine can actually lift 20 tons more than the Liebherr for a total of 60 tons, hence the name. Its 500 horsepower diesel engine makes it a versatile workhorse for many military operations. Adding weight to military cranes like the Terex is the special armor plating they are often equipped with to protect the operator in combat zones. In terms of consequences, the Mecca incident clearly overshadows the military mishap, but both serve as stark reminders of the importance of proper crane operation and safety protocols. If you're finding these fails fascinating, make sure to become a subscriber and click those like and notification buttons. Our final showdown pits a mining marvel against a shipyard giant. June 2014, Powder River Basin, Wyoming. A Bucyrus 2570 WS walking dragline, one of the largest machines in coal mining, suffered a catastrophic cable snap. The 328-foot boom came crashing down, bringing coal production to a screeching halt. And here's a mind-blowing fact: the Bucyrus 2570 WS is so massive that it has to walk on giant feet rather than using tracks or wheels. Each step can move the 8 million pound machine up to 7 feet. Now let's sail to Goje, South Korea, May 2017. At the Samsung Heavy Industry Shipyard, two cone cranes, Goliath cranes, each capable of lifting 900 tons, collided in a tragic dance of miscommunication. One crane collapsed onto a construction platform, claiming 6 lives and injuring 25 others. Now let's size up these mechanical monsters. The Bucyrus 2570 WS dragline is a true giant with a price tag to match: $150 million. Its 328-foot boom can move over 100 tons of material in a single pass. The dragline's bucket alone can weigh up to 50 tons and hold enough material to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool in just 10 seconds. The cone crane's Goliath crane, by comparison, stands 394 feet tall and is a shipyard sentinel. This $20 million behemoth can lift up to 900 tons, making it perfect for handling massive ship components and oil platforms. To put that in perspective, the Goliath crane's lifting capacity is equivalent to hoisting 450 cars at once. In terms of financial impact, the dragline failure cost $10 million in repairs and downtime. However, the shipyard crane collapse takes the cake when it comes to the bill, with an estimated $100 million in damages and compensation. But which is worse is your call. Next, we move to Guangzhou, China, where on May 9, 2016, a massive scaffolding collapse occurred at a power plant construction site. This tragic incident killed 67 workers and was attributed to structural instability in the scaffolding used for building a cooling tower. Multiple Zoomlion ZCC 550H cranes, each costing approximately $700,000, were involved in this project. Designed for heavy lifting and with advanced hydraulic systems and a boom length of 50 meters or 164 feet, they operate efficiently in various terrains. These crawler cranes have a lifting capacity of 55 tons and are commonly used in large-scale industrial projects like this one. In this case, a nearby crane was damaged by falling debris but was not responsible for the collapse itself. Investigations revealed that improper construction practices and a lack of safety protocols contributed to this disaster. The plant's owner and construction company faced heavy fines and legal action, with damages totaling over $20 million. This incident stands as one of China's deadliest industrial disasters in recent years and highlights the critical importance of adhering to safety standards in construction. On October 16, 2015, another scaffolding disaster struck in Houston, Texas, USA. Scaffolding on a high-rise construction site collapsed onto the street below. A Kobelco CK2750G crane with a lifting capacity of 250 tons. Usually known for its durability and versatility on construction sites and at a price of $2.5 million, was also destroyed. At the time of the accident, it was working on lifting concrete panels when the scaffolding failed. Replacements and repairs added to the growing costs of this incident. Along with cost, there were injuries to 6 workers and the widespread disruption they had caused. The aftermath saw lawsuits filed against the construction company by injured workers and bystanders affected by the collapse. OSHA fined the construction firm $70,000 for safety violations related to this incident. The financial impact was significant as it cost millions in damages and delayed the building's completion by several months. Moving to Tianjin, China, on December 8, 2017, we encounter another tragic scaffolding failure. The scaffolding system on the 40th floor of a high-rise collapsed during a storm. The heavy machinery involved this time was a $600,000 Sany SCC 500A crawler crane. This crane has a lifting capacity of 50 tons and was positioned on ground level to lift materials to upper floors during construction. The collapse damaged several sections of the crane as well. Ultimately, 6 people died that day, and it was down to the quick actions from the crane operator that no more damage or injuries occurred. Construction was halted following this incident while investigations took place regarding adherence to safety protocols. The construction firm was fined for failing to maintain proper safety measures during inclement weather conditions. The damage costs and lost materials were estimated at over $5 million, delaying project completion by nearly a year. In Sydney, Australia, another serious incident occurred on April 1, 2019. A scaffolding structure collapsed during the construction of a high-rise building in Macquarie Park. Caterpillar 320 excavators, valued at around $200,000, were smashed by falling debris. The Cat 320 is widely used for large-scale earth-moving jobs and material handling. It can lift up to 12,000 pounds in one scoop and are a common sight on construction sites worldwide. Buried under debris from the collapse, it was later salvaged without severe damage. A recovered worker was rescued from under debris, and one less fortunate lost his life. The ramifications from this accident were significant. It caused substantial delays in project completion and led to fines totaling $900,000 for safety violations against the construction company involved. This incident sparked renewed calls for stricter safety regulations on Australian construction sites to prevent future tragedies. On January 22, 2020, another scaffolding collapse occurred in downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Scaffolding around a high-rise building under construction collapsed during a windstorm, sending debris into the street below. Thankfully, no serious injuries were reported. However, significant damage occurred to nearby construction equipment due to falling debris. The heavy machinery involved was a Manitowoc 14,000 crawler crane, which costs approximately $3 million and has an impressive lifting capacity of 220 tons. At the time of the accident, this crane had been actively lifting materials to upper floors when part of the scaffolding collapsed onto its boom. Repairs for damage caused by this incident were estimated at around $500,000 due to extensive structural damage incurred during this event.
The aftermath led to traffic chaos throughout downtown Vancouver as authorities worked quickly to clear debris from streets below, while implementing new safety guidelines for operating equipment during high winds. Finally, we arrive at Hangzhou in China on November 24, 2016, a day marked by tragedy when massive scaffolding structures at a cooling tower construction site collapsed unexpectedly due to structural failures attributed to negligence resulting from improper assembly practices. Multiple Zoom Lion ZCC 550H cranes were used simultaneously throughout this project, each valued at approximately $700,000, working together to lift materials towards top levels of the cooling tower when everything went wrong, resulting in a catastrophic failure that sent crushing several cranes onto the site. This totaled millions in damages, but much worse, it led to the deaths of over 70 workers. It became one of the deadliest accidents in Chinese history, prompting severe legal action against the companies involved along with the imprisonment of several top executives for negligence. The total damages exceeded $50 million and forced the closure of the site for over a year of upgrades and safety compliance measures. Lessons learned and never forgotten. And that's it for today. From catastrophic crane collapses to devastating scaffolding failures, these incidents highlight just how crucial proper safety measures are in construction environments, especially when mixed with heavy machinery. If you enjoyed this Monster Machines video, please like and share it. And if you're still watching by now, you should definitely be a subscriber. Just click on either of these if you want more videos right now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.